We're live. All right. Thank you so much to all of you that have been patient and have seen me pop up about 10 times on Facebook Live, which I think I've worked something out, though, that if you might need to have certain, I don't know, software or something, but I could see some people, it said on a Facebook Live, where you can add them to the broadcast, and other people like you, I couldn't. So I'm using this thing called StreamYard, which means that it kind of, you can, it does it for you. So that seems to be working okay. So yes, thank you everyone. If you can just post a comment, let us know you're watching and where you're watching from. That'd be cool. And yeah, this week we are very delighted to welcome the lovely Renuka.
Hi.
And I'm going to ask Renuka a few questions about how she's got to where she is now, which I'm really interested in, and would love to hear more about. So every Friday I'm doing a live interview with someone in our community. So if you're interested in taking part, do let me know. And the idea is just to share inspiration and learnings from each other. Thank you. I'm assuming that's Mandy that says much better sound now. Good. Hooray. So Renuka, so tell me how it all kind of started, like a sort of a potted history of you and where you've come from to get where you are now.
Well, first of all, I don't know if I said, but anyway, no one will know. I used to do cakes and French pastries, which I started more than 20 years ago. My sister actually, I lived in Florida. My sister actually brought me a Julia Child cookbook, and I basically fell in love with everything French pastry and cakes and desserts. And but I recently became vegan. Well, it's going to be a year now. And even though I grew up on a lot of vegan food, I decided to go fully vegan. And I get so much joy from my cooking that I want to share it. I want to show people how to cook, really.
Brilliant. And yes. And with you, in terms of like your business journey, have you did you like work, how did it all start? Like, have you managed to kind of do it where you've say brought enough income in from your business just through doing not just, but you know, is it created the lifestyle and created the sort of income that you wanted, and like what's been your journey with that?
My cakes were fine. That was all right, but then COVID happened. Yeah, you know, and everything went into lockdown. I didn't panic buy, so I just couldn't do what I was doing, because even though I had gone vegan, I'd said that, you know, my customers, I would still provide them with the choice, but I couldn't do it anymore. And my business was based on celebration. But then being in lockdown, it really brought home how important, I've always thought the everyday is important, but it really brought home how important the everyday is. Now, in terms of income, I've barely started. So on this, so while I do have a YouTube channel, I am sort of feeling my way, and hoping that will probably go into cookbooks, private lessons, Zoom call lessons, because I want this to be global, not just Tunbridge Wells delivering more lessons. Yeah,
that reminds me, I keep meaning to change my Tunbridge Wells Entrepreneur Club to Tunbridge Wells and beyond, because we've got lots of people who are from like lots of different areas, so that'd be nice to bring people in. And so what made you decide to like pivot your business from like kind of patisserie to vegan?
I've always been a food person. We actually worked out, I mean, how many meals you have. If, let's say, okay, let's be optimistic and say everyone lives till 80. We eat about 88,000 meals in that lifetime. My own dad lived till 57, which is pretty young, but he would have still had roughly 63,000 meals in his lifetime. What do you want that pile of food to look like? Where do you want it to come from? That is a massive pile for each person. Where do you want it to come from? What do you want going into your body? I have all of these ideas, and nature is providing me with the ingredients, and I just want to share it.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
What do you think's been your biggest inspiration in terms of deciding on this like new route?
It's people never know. It's not that people don't know how to cook things. They'd never know what to cook. I'm providing tools so that people can get ideas for plant-based meals. I'm not saying everyone has to or must, or I'm not saying that. My area, my zone is a no judgment zone. If you want to do a few plant-based meals a week, that's fine. If you want to do one a day, whatever it is, I'm providing the ideas and the know-how and all of that.
Cool. I know I'm going off a bit with my questions because I'm kind of interested in the story there.
No, that's fine. Food is, for me, food is the foundation of the house that is your mind and your body. That's the foundation. Without good food, we can't do anything. I don't care what job you're in. I don't care what background. If you don't, it's the base of the hierarchy of needs. If you don't have it, if you're not nourishing yourself well, then nothing's going to happen. So I need to help people do it.
Brilliant. And I was listening to something the other day that was saying people are hunting for health at the moment. This is what people are hunting for, is health. So it's not just important,
yes,
it's essential. If we don't have there's the other kind of, your health is your wealth. If you don't have your health, you have nothing, do you?
Yes,
it's like
exactly. Yeah.
And food is so important.
Disclaimer. When can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Okay. All right. One disclaimer is that obviously about health and reaping the benefits of good food. I'm not including people with serious underlying conditions and serious medical health issues. I'm just talking about basic. I'm not a doctor, so this is just me giving people lessons, ideas.
The thing is, though, this will be interesting. I know.
Oh, sorry, I missed.
Yeah, you went a little bit, but I got the gist of what you were saying. And can you hear me? Okay, Renuka.
Mm.
So, anyone, if you've got any comments on
it's
this,
a little bit breaking up, but
oh dear, I don't know if that's me or. Can you hear me now? If you guys can hear me on Facebook,
yeah,
then
it's breaking up. I'm getting most of it.
Okay, I was just going to say to the people watching that if you've got any thoughts on this debate, or not really a debate, but like the importance of health, and then please comment. Like, what are your views? What do you think about this? Because whilst Renuka, you're saying you're not going to, with your disclaimer of you're not going to be providing like medical advice in terms of food, but in terms of people with underlying health issues, etc. Who has any thoughts on like the argument of actually food is actually really fundamental, possibly to that if they'd had the right foods, and I would argue the right mental health support medicine as well. Then that's going to stop them from having those underlying health issues. So we got into a bit of a debate about nutrition now, but I don't really mind if anyone. If I think it's an important conversation to have. Don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah. Anyway, it's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is, and it's just that, whenever you look at what's good for I don't know, good skin, good hair, feeling good, low iron. I've got low iron. Everything, all of the food that imply, and people, let's face it, a lot of times people don't know what to do with vegetables.
No,
It can be very. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
You were going a bit out, but we've had an interesting comment here. I agree with Renuka. I ran a vegan catering company more than 20 years ago, and my 2 girls were vegan babies made of plants. So that's cool. And I think there's so many people that are kind of on this.
Yeah. Wow.
On this path, and I'd love for this group and for people in it to kind of, we can all help to be these sort of agents of change that can influence and persuade more people to live better, and that's good for them, good for the world. So what's your vision with your business, Renuka?
Yeah.
What do you see the future looking like for you and for the change you'd love to see in the world?
I mean, hopefully I will grow my audience, but that, it takes time. I've got to win people's trust so that they see that I can, I know what I'm doing. And over time, I hope to just spread the word, really, that that they should be loving their bodies through food, and good food, and healthy food, and whole foods. And actually, there's really no excuse not to do it. Even like when they eat what you give them, they won't starve. Because I know that's often a thing. I try to provide. I'll keep busy parents in mind with my food postings and recipes and all of that as well. So
Mandy's commented.
I mean, I would love if every.
Go on. Can you hear me? Carry on with what you were saying.
No, sorry, I didn't. Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, basically, I would love to help people take care of themselves. Sorry, go ahead. Yes.
Mandy has written from my recent online shopping picking in Sainsbury's, because that's how we'll hear Mandy's story when I interview her soon. I would say that most people had some vegan products in their shopping, which was amazing to see. So that's great. I think there's definitely been a shift there.
Yes. Yeah.
Like another thing that I know, when we had a recent conversation that you talked about, was your kind of hopes for how the right food, and kind of about self-care, self-love, and how food has an important part to play in that, in terms of, I suppose, mental health.
Absolutely. Yes.
Can you tell me more about that?
Absolutely. Because self-care isn't just, oh, I'm going for a massage or whatever. It is for me, self-care is every day. It's every day. Obviously, there will be moments where you cannot put yourself you can't, no one can put themselves first 100% of the time. If you have obligations, if you have children, if you have pets, whatever you have, you can't do it all the time. But in self-care, if you're starting with food, if you're starting with what you put in your body, that's especially women. I mean, we cook. How many times do we just, oh, I'm cooking this for that one because this one likes that one and this one likes that, but we forget ourselves, don't we? If we just really cared for ourselves, loved our bodies, put that first, then we'd be doing that for ourselves and for our families or our friends or whoever. It's those 70,000 or 80,000 plus meals. That's how we're caring for ourselves. And yes, I mean, we hear about we hear about all the superfoods, the turmeric and ginger and the spinach and pulses and all of those. They're all in a vegan diet. They're all in you. So why not, instead of having, like, I don't know, supplements, have it in the food you cook? Then it's all good. You have delicious food, getting all the nutrients your body is asking for.
And I think people definitely need training in this area and help, which is where you come in with your business.
Yeah, so
really
that's
cool.
that's my take on it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one of my questions now, which I had planned, which was, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to the younger you?
That is myself. Going to do something, if you want to do, just do it. The timing will never be perfect. The circumstances will never be perfect. Life will never be perfect. There will always be something. And the advice that I would say is just do it. Don't wait for any perfection. Don't wait for anyone to give you a voice or a platform or whatever. You just do it.
Love that.
And do it now. And you are good enough, and you will be good enough, and you will learn, you will feel your way through, and it will happen. Just do it.
Awesome.
That's what I'd say.
That's brilliant, perfect advice, I think. Yeah, there's definitely another sort of quote, done is better than perfect. Yeah, because if you're trying to make things perfect all the time, it's never going to happen. So you just got to dive in and take action.
No, ever.
So
yeah, hold your breath and complete the action.
Brilliant. And what do you love about what you do?
Everything. I love food. I love good food. I get passionate about, I go to, my greengrocers on Camden Road, and I go in there and I'm happy, and I see everything and I smell it and I just love it. And I love just all of, I get excited about sharing. I get excited. This will sound, I don't know if this will sound strange, but I was born to serve. I think of myself as this. I love caring for people. I love taking care. I love serving people. And this is my way of doing it. If I were to just, then that would be, here, have this meal, you're enjoying it. I teach someone how to do it, then that's, for me, that's more of an impact. It's more of a, this is my service that I'm offering you, take it. That's what I wish I could express how much I love every aspect of this.
I can see that you're really passionate about it, and it's lovely to have that coming, to see that coming across. And I think you're like, you're here to serve. That sounds perfect. And one of the things I've heard recently is that we're kind of almost entering an entrepreneurial revolution, with all sort of lots of people starting up new businesses and feeling that the time is now to not kind of think about things so much anymore, but just to get on with it. But I'd also argue that there's an education revolution, and not just in conventional sort of site of education, but there's a lot more of these sort of courses and different things available.
Can I interrupt for a second? When you said education, my mind went to my children's friends, and they are, their friends are what I'm doing. When I post a video on my channel, or when I do it on my Instagram, I get messages from them. Oh my gosh, we're going to try your things. Oh, I have this ingredient. Oh, I'm looking so forward. And it's the younger generation that also is exciting. Teaching the younger generation from early on how to care for themselves, not just, oh, food is an afterthought, I'll just shove this into my mouth with whatever. That taking care of their own with and teaching them that at a younger age, that's very exciting, because they're a clever bunch, this younger generation coming up. I have so much hope.
Hooray! Yes, me too. What's next for you? We've got a bit of delay on the.
Well, just expanding on this. Yes, yeah. There's a bit. It's not as clear, but I think we could manage a little bit. What's next is just me carrying on and trying to grow this. Like I said, it's about me winning my audience's trust. So I will carry on. I have lots of good ideas on how to share my food, food ideas, recipes, lessons, all of those things. So that's what's next. I have no limits. I have no limitations. That's what's next is
cool. How can people
limitless.
Find out? Brilliant. How can people find out more about you and watch your videos and learn more about how they can get involved?
Lost you there. I'm on Instagram at the Sweet Delices Vegan, and on YouTube also by the same name. I just renamed everything. I must not call it, but Sweet Delices Vegan on Instagram and on YouTube.
Excellent. Well, look
so
up people if you can
watch, like, subscribe.
Excellent.
And it's free for now.
Yeah, great. If you can post the links on this thread, that would be great. One other question. What's your favorite dish to cook and eat, and why?
Cook and eat. Oh, I don't think I have a favorite. The other day I made these chili oil dumplings. That's a favorite in this house. Trinidad street food that I grew up with, that's vegan. It's kind of like flatbreads with some chickpeas, like a chickpea masala in it. That's the most delicious thing. I did a lentil curry. That video is out. That's good too. Very simply, if I'm just looking for a quick lunch, some rice, avocado, some tofu, just simple things. A bagel, hummus, a salad, do lots of things. But I pick to it would be the street food from Trinidad and those chili dumplings.
I love the sound of that.
They both take a lot of work, but they're so worth it.
Damn it. I was thinking, if it's nice and simple.
Yeah, they're full of flavor. It's so good.
Do the one for that soon. That would be good.
Yeah, and I mean, you know what? Just to interrupt you for 1 second. A lot of people get turned off by the list of ingredients in vegan food. What it is that I think, and this is from personal experience, so no judgment here. This is from personal experience. When I was eating meat and cooking meat all the time, my dishes became very boring because I depended on just the meat and the carb and the veg, and just basically ended up doing the same things all the time. When I started cooking with only vegetables, it took me back to my childhood when my mum, grandma, all of that, when they would make all of these dishes, and it was different, and it was delicious. And I started, I got excited again, because yes, the list of ingredients is long, but it is exciting, and often the method is very easy. often, very often. It's very easy. So once you get all of those, it's fine. Because honestly, look at the, you know, if let's say you use a jarred sauce, or let's say you use like a teriyaki sauce or a hoisin sauce or whatever, write down the list of ingredients in that and you'll see how much it is. Except that with vegan cooking, or the cooking that I'm doing, it's the same, except you know what you're putting in there. You're not buying a jarred anything, you know. So that's the only thing I would say. Don't be intimidated, just go for it.
Brilliant. That's awesome. Thank you. Has anyone got any questions that you'd like to, if anyone, whoever's watching would like to ask any questions of Renuka? I think I had another comment earlier, which was when I used to go to vegan meetings, holidays, etc., I was always amazed at the skin of the older vegans. So there we go. And your skin's amazing, Renuka. Not that you're old.
Lost you, Kat.
Oh. Can you hear me? Well, shall we...
Wait, so I'm sorry. I've
One of the comments was that when I used to go to vegan meetings and holidays, etc., I was always amazed at the skin of the older vegans. Was just a comment on here. And I was just saying, like, you're not older. You've got amazing skin, though. I mean, you know. being only 25.
I don't mind. I'll give my age away. I'm 44 and a half. I'll be 45 in November.
And you don't look a day over 21. With a lot more wisdom. Well, so there we are, as a message to all of us to be vegan.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel better. I've never felt better in my life ever. I feel great. And you know what? I actually cut down on meat last year because I had digestive issues. Since I've cut it out, I have no more hay fever. I have no more anything. I feel absolutely great. Even my iron, which is a genetic thing, I feel great. I feel great. Oh, and on my Instagram, I share these little tips on what the smoothie I make for breakfast, and not my entire breakfast. I don't have a green smoothie for breakfast every morning. Let's be real. But just, you know, a kind of a boost, starting the day right, things like that. So yeah.
I think there could be a whole niche with the hay fever thing. There's a lot of people that are really suffering with that. I mean, I'm sure they'd be delighted if they could solve that just through eating better food. So I think that's we'll finish up now. Unless you've got any other things that you'd like to, anything I haven't asked you that I said I was going to ask you, or that you'd like to mention. Now is your chance. Otherwise, we'll we'll say goodbye.
Yeah. No, I think there was only one. Yeah, I think we covered more than everything.
Brilliant. Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and I know we've kind of talked a bit more about food rather than entrepreneurship, but hey ho, it doesn't really matter. I'm up for having any interesting conversation about with you and with the guys that are in this community. So so yeah, any comments, just let us know what you thought, and what you'd like to hear more of as well, or different people that you'd like us to interview. And we shall say goodbye. So thank you everyone for listening, really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.